call Tuesday, March 11th, Transportation Committee meeting to order. Mr. Cluart, Councilman Cluart is going to lead us in the invocation and the pledge.
Name of the Father, Son. Dear Lord, please give us the fortitude to make wise decisions. Keep in mind that we work for the people, work for your people. We ask this in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let it be known that Councilman Todd Lambert is absent. Anyone wishing to speak on any public, any items, please sign in with the secretary. We have any 2/3 that we need to add to the agenda? If no, any presentations? Number 6, Road Department report for February 2008. Mr. Turner.
Chairman Lambert, members of the Transportation Committee, good evening. You've got in your packet a road report that we have passed out regarding work that we've done in the month of February. As you can see, we've got a kind of a wide variety of work that we've accomplished, everything from doing tree removal to graveling, grading a number of roads. I think there were 17 that we either graded or made extensive repairs on potholes. By the way, we have our new pothole patcher truck, which is actively out on the road virtually every day now. And we've really got high hopes for it, and I believe that it's going to produce excellent quality of patches, and also patches that will stay in place for some time. So we're really excited about it. It's not only engineers get excited about pothole patchers, but it is a nice vehicle. Culvert and basin repairs, we've got about 6 or 8 culvert locations where we've either changed out culverts or upsized the culverts and made various repairs to them. More or less routine, but that's kind of what the meat of our department is. Day in and day out, we're doing ditch cleaning, we're cleaning culverts, we're grading the roads and patching potholes. That's kind of the meat of what we've done. Next item down there, we've dug out almost 3 miles of ditches that we've cleaned in the month of February, 13,525 feet. We haven't started our weed control. We will be starting mowing very soon this week, in fact. But we have been worked previously on picking up limbs, doing trimming, and doing maintenance on our equipment, getting ready for mowing. So we feel like we're in pretty good shape for going into this year. Be glad to answer any questions that you might have on our monthly road report.
Any questions from Councilman, from Mr. Turner? Okay, with none, we'll number 7, road project update.
Yes, this is basically our construction program, an update on our construction program. You have a handout, and I'd like to go down through that list. Basically, we're the Westworthy Bridge. As you recall, we pulled that out of the Westworthy project so that we could get that bridge reopened as quickly as possible. The bid opening for that particular bridge is set for April the 3rd, so we're going to be moving forward rather quickly in getting that done. The next item is the Roddy Road Bridge replacements. We're at the point now where we're ready to begin right-of-way acquisition of those projects, at pending council approval of this next Thursday on some of those items, and we'll be moving forward with that. in conjunction with the Roddy Road, it's necessary for us to, as we close the Roddy Road in order to make repairs on the bridge, we need to use Meyer Road as a detour for that. And so, but the bridge on Meyer Road we need to replace. It's a small structure, not a real small structure, but we're able to do a aluminum box culvert on Mirror Road, and we're going to be replacing that bridge on Mirror Road. And by the way, this is in conjunction with the East Ascension drainage. They're assisting us. They recently had a meeting, and extremely pleased with the cooperation that we're getting with East Ascension drainage. And I think by working together, we'll benefit the members of the parish as a whole. And they're helping significantly on that. The 2004 Intersection Improvement Program, GSA has that under design. We're working on completing the design and beginning the right-of-way acquisition on Phase 2B and Phase 2C. These are fairly long-time projects that have came forward. We're further complicated by the fact that DOTD made significant changes in their requirements for traffic studies, and so each one of these had to go back and go through undergo a extensive traffic study, which we're working with DOTD to set the lengths of turn lanes and things like that. But they are moving forward. I'm pleased to talk about the next two projects, Boudreaux Road and Joe Severio. And as you can see, both of those are, I'll call it neck and neck on completion. Both of them were let very close to the same time period. There's two different contractors working on those roads. They're making very similar progress. The completion dates are within 1 week of each other, and basically late June. And so both of those are going forward without any significant problems at all. There's always little glitches. I say little glitches. When they occur, they always seem like big glitches, but little glitches that we resolve in just a short period of time move forward. But both of those projects are going very well. The 2006 road construction program, which is we let late last fall. There were 22 roads in that project. R.J. Daigle was the contractor on that. He's completed all the roads except 4 at this point. This is the first program that we used parish inspectors on solely. And we've really done, I think, an excellent job. I've got 2 inspectors happen to be sitting behind me that are went through their certification. They've got their fingers crossed. They've taken the final exam. It looks good, but I believe that they're certified by the state. So they said they did learn a lot. It was a tough course, but it was well worth it. And we want to have other inspectors to go forward through this. It'll benefit long term the quality of work that we get through the parish. But that 2006, we expect that to be completed in April of this year, next month, in fact. The 2007, which is the projects that we designed in-house, there's a number of those. How many is it? 38 of them. And so Jackie designed all of those. We're pretty much 90% complete. I'm not I know that there's 38 roads are badly needed, and we are trying to get those out there. But I want to make sure that we're not putting too much under contract at the same time. We're just a couple of weeks from finishing up the 2006, and I think if we can time that where the 2006 is just getting completed and we start with the 38 more roads on 2007, I think we'd minimize the disruption to the public. What I really don't want is for you to come up on a construction site, take a detour and run right into another construction site that you think, how am I going to get through there? So, but everything's coming into place very well on that. The 2007 road construction program, council put that under contract just recently, and we're having the pre-construction meeting on that tomorrow. And so we'll get that road going very quickly. The other one is 2007 RCO2, designed by GSA engineers. The contracts are being finalized on that and being executed at this time, so we'll see that moving forward fairly shortly. The third, or the next item, the intersection and widening projects with Volker Engineering. That's a little more complicated than our other projects. Again, that kind of goes back to what we saw back in the 2004 intersection programs. We're looking at turn lanes. We're looking at complicated traffic analysis and coordination with the state, possibly some additional widening. So we feel real good about that project. We feel like it's going forward in a very timely manner, but I don't want you to be expecting that it's going to be completed in the next month or so. It's much more complicated than that, and deals with more complicated plans and traffic studies and right-of-way acquisition. So, but we're working very closely with the state on that. We feel good about it. We still feel good about our original estimate of cost for that project. That's holding pretty good all the way through this so far. And I might point out that our other projects that we placed under contract, they were all either at or below our estimate of cost. So we've not exceeded our cost on any of our projects that we've got under contract at this time. The last, or not the last, I've got one to kind of tell you about, but the 2007 striping program, it's now been completed. It was about $160,000 striping program. A number of parish roads were striped. I think we had 72 roads that we either did edge striping on or centerline striping or a combination thereof. And it was a very successful, didn't take very long to get through it. And I'm looking at possibly doing another striping program this year if we can scrounge the dollars up to do that. I'm asking our inspectors to come back with what additional roads we ought to be striping. I know there's still a lot of roads out there that would benefit by good striping, and I'm trying to identify those now, and maybe coming back to you if we can determine the funding. Our funding, we're closing out the 2007 budget, so within the next week or so, Finance will be able to tell us what we have in the fund balance, what we currently have encumbered, and what we might expect for a balance of funds going into this year. So I want us to look at that, look at some other obligations that we might have, and then maybe do some small amount of striping. The last item, which is not on your list, although Liz did hand out, is some information on Roddy Road. GSA has that design contract for the entire scope of Roddy Road. The total length that we're talking about is about 7.18 miles.
It's about 5, a little less than that.
Okay.
We've got a section that's 2.06 miles.
Okay. Around 5 miles long is what this project would be. And as you can imagine, this, before I kind of get into the numbers, we're talking about a project that would be of similar nature to Joseph Ario, Boutreau Road, good pavement, good shoulders, better drainage, improved drainage, in fact some bridge replacements in addition to the bridges that we have previously pulled out. Those bridges are not in this estimate. But with those lengths, we're talking about a project that goes all the way from 61 all the way up to 931. And the cost is estimated at this point is right at $14 million. So as you can see, and I've given you a breakdown from GSA as to how they arrive at that figure. And when I've looked at this, I don't think it's an inflated figure at all. It may be just a tad low. And I hope that they're right, and I hope that I'm wrong, but I don't think there's any fluff in this estimate. I think this is an extensive project. There's a lot of relocations, but it is a project that was identified, and so we currently do not have funding for it. I'd be glad to answer any questions that you might have regarding the road project update.
Councilman Johnson.
Mr. Bob, on the Roddy and Mere Road bridges you talked about earlier, do we have a time frame? And you mentioned that it's going to be critical that we coordinate those two projects together, as well as especially with Roddy Road and the school, and trying to get those bridges done this summer once school lets out. Do we have an idea as far as time frame yet on any one of those?
We're on Meyer Road. We need to put under contract real quickly. In fact, we're going to do that one in-house. We're going to set the structure with our people. If you recall, our forces set the big structure on 74, and did a wonderful job. It was an enormous project. This one's not nearly that big, and we can do that in-house. We just need to complete the purchase of the structure, the aluminum structure, and then we'll go to work on it. So I'm saying in the next month or so we'll have Mere Road under contract, or not under contract, but we'll be working on it and be completing that. Depending on what happens this next Thursday at council, we're asking for authorization for right-of-way acquisition and hiring a firm to administer the contracts for right-of-way. The bridges are essentially designed. GSA has the design. I've reviewed those. I think we're in a right-of-way acquisition stage at this point, and once we do that, we can put those bridges under contract.
Okay. One of the things I'd like to mention to everyone as far as the information we received tonight about the Roddy Road project, it's been ongoing for about 6 years now as far as the redoing of Roddy Road between 621 and 931. There has been some, the people have been expecting it. They know there's some things that's going on there. We've had some issues with traffic accidents as well as a couple of fatalities, I believe, in the last 4 years. So I really encourage us to work hard to try to figure out how we can fund this part of this project. For now, for sure, for that, if we can work a way to do that, it would really be beneficial. That's all I got, Mr. Chairman.
Kind of in addition to that, I think next month I'll have a more clear figure as to our construction fund balance from finance, and we can know the amount of dollars that we would have to work with. I think it's important when you look at a project like Roddy Road to understand that maybe we can't do it all, but maybe we can break it into sections and do sections that make sense. In other words, they need to go from a point of traffic generation to a point of traffic generation, some segment in there. There's very little reason to go halfway through a stretch of road if there's no good place to end it. Just ending it back on your existing two-lane is not a good use of your money. But if you can go from a good intersection to a good intersection, I think that makes sense. And depending on the cost the funds that we have available and the cost breakdown, I'll be glad to be working with you on that to decide how you might want to do that. Kind of along those same lines, if you recall, last meeting I gave you a list of potential 2008 projects, road projects to be considered. Right now I'm not doing anything more with those roads at this point. I think that kind of goes into the mix with our available funds, and we'll bring that all back to you at the time we know how much money we got to work with.
Okay. Councilman Law.
Mr. Bob, just a question on Van Broussard under the 2007 intersection widening project. Is that right there at the curve at the beginning where it's a little narrow and it's kind of a dangerous curve? And what are the plans?
There are two separate curves on that road that we're working on, yes, sir.
Okay, great.
Okay, any other questions on the updates?
I got one thing.
Councilman Kluwat?
Yeah, Mr. Bob. Who's the guys that just passed the certification? Went to school?
Joey Bouchard. Well, I'd like to tell you that yes, they did pass. They don't have the official recognition yet, but they both feel real good about it. But Ricky DeArmond and Joey Bouchard, both of them back here.
Thank y'all, fellas, for taking that initiative.
They've been with the parish a long time, and they've been excellent employees throughout that duration. But when I came and I said, we need to improve our certification so that we can stand up and say, yes, we passed the same exams that contractors, inspectors have, and that we're as, I won't say we're as certified as they are, but we're experienced as they are, and will be gain more experience as time goes on. And these two gentlemen immediately stepped forward and said, yep, we're ready to do it, and they jumped in and did it. I'm really proud of them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
All right, we'll move into number 8, reversal of acceptance of Tracy Street and Shelley Street.
Yeah, I've given you quite a packet on this, but essentially what it amounts to is that these roads back in June of '07 were taken into the parish system, and the motion was made, and you can see on the council agenda that to take those in, but they did have a stipulation, and they had a stipulation is that the owner of the road furnish us a 1-year maintenance bond. When a subdivision is built and the developer builds the road in the subdivision and it's all done, ready to build houses, we still require them to give us a bond that assures that that road is going to be, that was built properly, even though we had inspectors there. If there's some reason that there's a defect in the road, they in effect guarantee the road for a year. So at that particular time, these roads look just like that, like a developer's road. So rather than just accept them and take them in, I felt like that they should have some bond very similar to a developer. And there were 3 roads that we made that stipulation on, primarily because of the conditions of the road. They were like a subdivision type road. Mallard, Shelley, and Tracy. Well, the owner of Mallard did in fact post the 1-year bond, and we took that in, and no problem. I really don't know of any defects or any reason to be overly concerned about Shelley or Tracy. However, the owner and developer has chosen not to post the bond. And so in my mind, he has not met the conditions that we set by the council in order to take these roads in. So at this point, I'm regretfully asking you to reverse that acceptance and to not take those roads into the parish system.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Councilman Lohr,
Second.
second by Councilman Johnson to reverse Tracy and Shelley Street. Any discussion? Councilman Kluwat?
Yeah, Mr. Bob. This in District 6 right there in San Juan.
Yes, sir, it is.
I got a few questions. Basically, I see where you have we have legal. You got a legal advice on. They got that up front on it.
Let me ask Ricky to
Sure.
give you
Yeah, go ahead,
background. Ricky's my
Yeah.
research expert on all of
That's
this, and if
What
you
had
don't
hap-
mind, he can do that.
What had happened is these roads were developed without road inspection from our inspection department. They were just done because he wanted to extend his subdivision. So he went to legal, and legal had requested that they send us a lot of information on how it was constructed and everything. And at that point, they haven't sent anything. And this was way back in, I think the paperwork was 2000.
I'm showing July 2000.
Right. So, I mean, nothing came back. We didn't receive any information on how they constructed it or their testing lab reports or anything. So basically, legal at that time told us we shouldn't take them in. Now, the last council wanted to take them in. So we went and looked, done the surveys, and brought out everything to y'all in a package. Not y'all, but the previous council. And we decided to take them in, but we wanted to put a 1-year maintenance bond, like Mr. Bob says, because that's required in all our subdivision development. Well, this contractor is refusing to put the 1-year maintenance bond on. So we feel like it's not justified to take them in, because basically all our subdivision developments have to put a 1-year maintenance bond with inspectors overseeing their projects.
Yes, so basically, this was sent to the developer in 2000,
Right.
and he didn't respond to you
No.
or to the parish.
Not according to the DA's office.
Not
According to the paperwork
the
you
DA's
have.
office or any records that you guys have.
Right.
And you saying that the council last year,
July.
July
July 2007.
2007, went ahead, they voted to go ahead and take it in
With
With
the
that
stipulation.
with that stipulation.
Right.
I guess if we asked in 2000 for some information and hadn't delivered it to 2007, I don't see why we'd where they'd have thought, you know, we'd get any more out of them.
Yeah.
But
Now, I might point out that we don't think there's anything wrong with these roads. I mean, there's not a maintenance problem. It's just, unfortunately, we have no way to verify the construction. And so to be fair to all parties on how we deal with roads, we asked them for the similar type assurances that we would get from a contractor building the road. We want a maintenance bond. And they declined to give it to us.
yeah. So in 2000, when the DA's office, the attorney sent out that letter, it was basically it's within our code that we did require that.
Yes, back then they were doing subdivision inspections.
Yes. Okay.
The thing is we approached the we had two contractors involved in 3 roads, and basically one didn't have a problem putting a maintenance bond for a year. So this is basically a case of we making everybody that builds a subdivision put a maintenance bond, a 1-year maintenance bond on it. Okay, and we took in some private roads, which that's what these were, and 2 out of 3 is refusing to put a maintenance bond on them.
I understand.
So
it's
is
and
it
it's
fair?
the same contract for both of these roads, right?
Right.
And do we have? So my issue is I don't see the contractor losing any money at this point. I was just wondering about the people that live on the road. You know, what's the end result? Do their roads ever get in the parish system?
That's a very good point. Clearly, we did at that particular time take in roads that we did not ask for this maintenance bond, and they were roads, they were gravelled, and they did not meet any kind of standard. However, they did have the proper width, and the road bed was the right width, and they were platted prior to magic date 1998.
1993.
1993.
Yes.
And so we took those in knowing full well that we would maintain those for several years as a gravel road, grade them, and then we would come back to
Sure.
you all and resurface those roads and bring them into the parish system. These roads are already all asphalted and look perfectly good. The long-term downside of this is that there's probably nobody really going to maintain these roads. So when they start getting potholes in them, they're going to call you, and you're going to call me. And
you're probably right.
What I can tell you is that they did not meet the criteria that the council had established.
Yeah, so I'm just looking for a good end to the taxpayers.
Randy,
Okay.
I got a suggestion. Maybe
Yes, sir.
you can call the developer and see if he'll put it on because it's in your district. Maybe he'll do that. You might want to hold off, or
Yeah.
or do
I would-
take this action tonight and come back later. And
I would like to ask this board to table this and let me look into it. I mean, if that would be possible.
I'm certainly not opposed to that at all.
I'll withdraw my motion.
Okay,
And one quick thing, you know, while we're talking, what's the condition of the roads right now?
They're very good.
They're in good condition.
Yes, sir.
So there's a good chance that they were built pretty good.
Everything that we see at this point
But
says
they may
that
not
they
be.
were built adequately. I mean, back in 2000, we were debating with the developer, send us some test results, and they didn't do it. So they were good road from 2000 up to 2008. They've been a fine road. So
I
you've
would
got
like
8
to
years of
represent the
good road.
people and try to see if we can get something out of the developer.
We just want to know what the base is, Randy. We don't even know what the base is. We don't know how it was constructed.
And worst come to worst, if he would do a core,
It's just something, just to tell us what's there.
A core sample at 2 points, whatever points that y'all point out. If somebody would be willing to get a core sample, and we'll see what we got down there.
We'd like to work with the developer on some kind of reasonable method that we can take these roads in. I'm not trying to not do this. I'm trying to comply with the council request, but at the same time recognize that there are citizens out there that at some point in time are going to be in dire straits if this is not a public road.
And I understand the path we're trying to take, and I agree with y'all 100%. What I got is I got some citizens that are probably caught in a catch-22.
Correct.
So while we're here tonight, my word is to the good citizens of Ascension Parish to check out everything before you buy a lot within a subdivision or whatever. And DPW and Parish would be a good place to start whenever you're looking for a place to live.
Well said. Thank you.
I think it was due to all that training that they just went through. Thank y'all for bringing this out. Councilman Johnson?
Yeah, I'm with Randy. I mean, we don't want to punish the people who are living on the road 4, 5, 10 years from now after they got potholes or whatever need to be developed or repaired. But maybe we can, in the meantime, till we find some answers out or come up with an alternate strategy, also look at some alternate means of getting with the developer or getting to the developer to push him into. I don't know if there's anything there, guys. I mean, I'll throw that out to you guys. Maybe come up with something, brainstorm to where we can hold his feet to the fire to do this. I think the core idea is a great idea, as for an example. But that's just one of my comments. We don't, y'all don't want to do it. We don't want to punish the people who are living along those roads either.
Okay, we'll pass on agenda item number 8.
One more thing. We just want to remember it could turn into a legal issue.
Right.
Okay.
We always have that option.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Okay, number 9, speed limit reduction on Oakley from 25 to 15.
This was a request by Councilman Bell for Oakley Lane. We're not opposed to that. If you choose to make that recommendation, we would
Motion.
not have.
Motion by Councilman Johnson.
Second.
Second by Councilman Lohr. Any objection? Motion passed. Number 10, three-way stop in Ascension Trace subdivision, Hemingway. Councilman Thompson.
I've given you a packet that you read through that, and it may cause you more harm than good because it may get you to becoming traffic engineers. But essentially what it does is there's a national standard for installation of traffic control devices. How do you determine when you need a traffic signal, and how do you determine where you need a stop sign and a multiple stop sign, and if you have a four-way intersection, and which should it be, a four-way stop sign, or should it just be 2 stop signs on the minor road? And this is a packet that kind of goes through that. And what this came about when Councilman Thompson asked us to look at Ascension Trace subdivision for possibly addition of some stop signs. And in this particular subdivision, there was, I think, 3 cross streets in it with the main street, which was Hemingway Drive. We thought this would be a good opportunity for us to all gain a little bit of experience in public works. So we pulled up the criteria for determining multi-lane, multi-stop signs. And this is in accordance with the Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices, which is the national standard. And we found that essentially these did not. Kind of a rule of thumb is that you need about 200 vehicles an hour for one of the highest hours of the 8-hour day. and we didn't have anything like that on these streets. We had a maximum of little over 100 vehicles, 110 vehicles a day on Hemingway, which is the main street. Now, a side street, if it achieves less than that, it's down around 100 vehicles a day. But the side streets didn't have that either. And I guess what I'm really telling you, we have the ability to do speed studies and volume studies now and match those against criteria. Now, I'm not here to speak against putting the stop signs at this location. This is a request by Councilman Thompson. Based on our current analysis, it's not warranted. However, we have put stop signs in at other locations in the past, recent past, that I haven't done this analysis on. So there's a good chance that they were not warranted. But I guess I'm just giving that to you for your information. I'm not opposed to putting stop signs at this location. It's a request by a councilman to do it. Apparently in support, the neighborhood has support with it. But again, you got a pretty good comprehensive package on how to warrant a stop sign if you choose to look at that.
Okay, Councilman.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to vote that we table this, make a motion we table this, since Councilman Thompson is not here to explain why he still might think this is valid in light of the data saying otherwise.
I think that's a good suggestion. We'll do that, and we'll wait to get more info from that councilman in that area. Anyone else? Any other discussion? I'd like to just to add I know we've been attending a lot of the meetings with the loop and different things. We just went to Washington. I think some good things are really fixing to start coming out of all of these meetings. I know we was well representative with Mr. Turner in Washington and all of us. So hopefully some good things are really going to come out of it. You had anything else?
No, that's all I have. Thank you.
Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Law. Thank you.